Matthew Stafford is apparently having trouble connecting with his team. Is this a problem for the Rams? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Let's get into it. So if you follow the Rams, you might understand that Matthew Stafford has been having some trouble connecting with his teammates. Now, this comes from his wife's podcast. She often talks about a lot of stuff that I don't know if it's good for the Rams team, for Matthew Stafford in general. However, it is stuff that we're going to talk about because it's public knowledge and it's available. So let's talk about whether or not this is a problem, whether or not this is a big deal or not, so that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And we're going to be reading this from the Rams Wire once again. So Matthew Stafford is apparently struggling to connect with the Rams' younger players. Matthew Stafford is considered one of the leaders in the locker room for the Los Angeles Rams, especially with the roster having a large number of inexperienced players. But this year is presenting him with a different challenge given the youth of the Los Angeles Rams roster. On one of her recent podcasts, his wife, like I said, Kelly Stafford, revealed that this veteran signal caller is struggling to connect with the Rams' young players. She said, "It's kind of crazy, so Matthew's been in the league a long time. He's like, the difference in this locker room has changed so significantly. They have a lot of rookies on their team. They're very young. And he's like, I feel like I can't connect," Stafford said on her podcast, The Morning After with Kelly Stafford, as transcribed by the Turf Show Times. So this is something that is probably just a problem with most younger people in general. Most younger people just don't, connect on the same level as probably older people because we are so often just on Snapchat, on text messages, on Instagram. And all these players are coming into newfound fame, especially if they're rookies. They're getting a lot of follows from people like me and you. And they have a lot of sponsorship deals. They have a lot of girls probably hitting them up. And they're probably just interested in that rather than just kicking it with Matthew Stafford. But anyways, Stafford is entering his 15th season in the NFL and his third year with the Rams. Ahead of his age 35 season, Stafford notices that more players are on their phones than doing activities together in the locker room. He said, "In the old days, you'd come out of practice, you'd shower, and people would be playing cards, interacting." She added, "Who knows what they're doing, but they're doing something together, playing ping pong. They have a tournament going on. They'd at least be talking. But now they get out of practice and meetings during training camp and they go straight to their phones. No one looks up from their phones." Matthew's like, "I don't know. Am I the dad? Do I take their phone? What do I do here?" And he's like, "I don't want them to see me as a coach." Yeah, it's basically what's going on here is that there's just a disconnect. He's, probably over 10 years older than a lot of these guys, and he just doesn't have that same type of experience that he had when he was younger. Now, this is something that they need to address, and they probably should find out how to address in a better way than they are right now, because having connection as a team is important. Since winning the Super Bowl in the debut season with the Rams in the 2021, Stafford has been part of a ton of roster turnover. Just this season, the Rams parted with Jalen, Ramsey, Leonard Floyd, Greg Gaines. Hurts my heart to say all these names, among others from the Super Bowl squad. Along with moving on from some of the veterans on the team, the Rams have added 14 rookies via the 2023 NFL Draft. Nearly half of the roster is made up of first or second year players. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because all these players have upside and a lot of talent. However, and when you come into a Super Bowl team, that is going to be a close, tight-knit group, and you're not going to be able to do that with these younger players that don't know how to connect with the older players. So what they need to do is find a way to do that. Now, how they do that, that is for Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, and others to figure out, but it does need to get figured out. When Stafford entered the NFL as the number one pick of the Detroit Lions in the 2009 draft, the first generation iPhone was just 2 years old. That's kind of mean to say about him. But either way, fast forward to now, and the experienced quarterback is seemingly turned into a grizzled veteran who is out of touch with the youth. So is this a problem? That's basically what we're discussing in this video. I don't think it's too much of a problem. At the end of the day, it all comes down to talent and connection. And there are ways to connect with your team. And I'm sure that they're going to get it figured out. This could just be him trying to let his teammates know that they need to figure it out. And hopefully they do in the next 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to figure it out, especially after the roster cuts cuts come out, they should be coming out tomorrow. Probably as soon as you see this, they'll know who their team is, and they'll know who they need to be getting closer to. I'm sure Matthew Stafford is trying to get as close to his team as he can, but I don't see it as too big of a problem, but something that does need to be addressed. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this topic. But other than that, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.